Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror Live. I'm Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
Pugs Dread.
Namaste.
And Mike Kruger.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
So, we got a pretty stacked show tonight. We got cicadas and zombies and body horror and all sorts of messed up shit tonight. So it should be a good one. But before we get into that, gentlemen, how goes your evening?
It's hot here. I'm fucking sweaty. My balls are fucking leaking right now. Like it's not been a fucking happy time in the town of fucking Tucson over the last 2 weeks because we've been getting like a lot of rain, but it's still like 120 degrees during the fucking day.
Did you train again today?
Not today, no. Okay. But just fucking, I trained on Sunday, and I literally, like, coming back from training, not only did I fucking feel like I had to stop myself there, because apparently that could be considered racist, even though I am Italian. But let's just say I came back a really disgusting fucking mess. And anytime, and like I do DoorDash for work, so fucking anytime I'm DoorDashing, I'm just like, by the end of my shift, I could probably wring out my fucking shirt. It's really gross.
Your inner stinky samurai.
Oh, dude, I feel terrible for my girlfriend. Like terrible. Like last night, she stayed over the night, and it was just like it wasn't even hot in my house. It was like 75 degrees, but like because my bed's set up right next to a window, I'm just sweating like a motherfucker. I woke up in just a pool of sweat. I'm like, this poor tiny blonde girl has to deal with this big sweaty wop next to her. Jesus Christ.
Wet ass person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. I walk outside for like 2 minutes in this weather and I'm like dead, so can only imagine taking bumps in it.
Yeah, no, the training's the worst because, like, it's good in the sense that I'd rather it be hot than cold because when you're training in, like, hot weather, you have less risk for injury because your muscles are a little more loosened up and stuff. But when it's just bitter fucking cold, like, that's when your muscles start to tense up, your joints start to tense up, you can start to tear shit. But it still is, like, I'd rather be in cold weather as far as, like, the feeling. But as far as the injuries and stuff, I mean, it's not the worst thing. The only thing that sucks is I'm fucking, like, sunburned 99.9% of the time. I need, like,
interesting tan going on.
oh, dude, like, I got hella tan lines.
You slut.
Yeah.
I
got tan lines from my gear, which is really funny. And speaking of small blonde girls that had to sleep next to a sweaty wop last night, there's Amanda. Hi, babe. But yeah, fucking. So it's just been brutal. But it's Arizona summer. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready for fall.
It's not that much better out where you guys are in California.
I'm pretty miserable when I'm outside. It sucks.
Yeah, it's avoiding the outside.
It's pretty bad here, but definitely not Arizona bad. So I can't.
It's 92 right now. What kind of garbage is that? Do they not know where we're at? Rude.
It was 102 by me today. No. Fucking sucked.
I'm closer to the beach, I guess.
Yeah.
And we're talking some heat stroke horror tonight, ironically enough,
and some stroke horror.
Jason Aldean.
I have to figure
that
out
was a compliment.
Well, before we get into it, we got some smut news, Tad, from Vinegar Syndrome. Distrib picks, and they're going to be partnering up with, and we're going to be getting a lot of classic erotica coming on the new site. Now, I have a question for you, since you're already a subscriber. Is any of that included, or is that going to be a separate gimmick?
I don't know. If now that they're doing the new site, I didn't check if I got an actual email from them directly, which I'm going to do right now.
I'm curious.
Because I know we don't get discounts on the other site.
Okay.
I don't know if they addressed that yet.
So they're counting them probably as Distrib Picks films rather than Vinegar Syndrome films. That's kind of what I figured.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even still, I mean, if Peakorama still gets the discount, I'd assume it'd fall under the partner. Peakorama is included in. I don't know how they're going to now that it's on the two sites.
Something's going on with your mic, bud.
Yeah, I thought it was just me.
Sound underwater.
How about now?
No,
Better. Really? It sounded okay to me.
Just talk.
Okay, Dan.
Now
it's
you're
fine.
good.
Now it's fine. But before, it
Yeah,
was
now
fucked
you're
up.
perfectly
All
fine.
right. Well, I'm just going to move this over a little bit.
Why would you move it if it was
Why you
perfect,
gotta-
Todd?
why you gotta have a-
Because I can't see the goddamn fucking words. I gotta
Hold on. Why you gotta have a red tip on it? Like, why you gotta be phallic with it, bro?
Just gonna get a green one for the Troma
Lipstick.
shows.
Yeah, I tried to find one, but they were
Red Rocket. Suwu.
So yeah, I'm very excited. They've got some Roberta Findlay, we got some Vanessa Del Rio stuff, some Samantha Fox stuff, a
Del
lot of
Rio.
stuff. Yeah. Very excited. So before the show, Pugs, you shocked me. You have not watched Beau is Afraid yet, and I've got.
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. Me and my girlfriend were actually just talking about this, and like, it's just a big ask, man. I mean,
It's a time thing, yeah.
Yeah, like 3 hours is a fucking like, and I loved Midsummer, loved Hereditary, but it's just like,
Get
that's a
those
big
out of
ask.
your head. You may love it, you may hate it, and I have no idea. It's so hard to tell with that movie, but it's a
on the
ride.
list.
From the little bits I've seen, because there's a couple of like horror pages I follow on Instagram that have posts like small clips from the movie. It looks weird enough for me to like actually really like it. I mean, you have to also understand, I like a lot of Yorgos Lanthimos shit and like
Yeah.
really bizarre movies. It doesn't always need to just be straight horror for me. So I think I'll have a good time. Plus, I mean, fucking Joaquin
Phoenix.
like, you know.
Yeah.
Just spark a bowl, do whatever you need to do, relax. You'll have a good time. It may feel a little longer than 3 hours, but it'll be worth it.
I got some vacation time coming, and that's probably when I'll pull the trigger.
There you go.
Yeah, I think I'll fucking probably wait until like me and my girl can watch it. Because I was debating about watching it with my mom too, because she really liked Hereditary and Midsummer too. But like I like if I would have showed her something wrong with the Johnsons or wherever the fuck that is, she probably would have never spoke to me again.
Fucking love that jam. Oh, so good. So fucked up.
This one might be a little bit of an odd watch with family, possibly. Maybe not. You said you watched a Serbian film with her, so
No.
you
Do not put words in my mouth. I watched Gutterballs with her.
Oh, well,
Big
that's
difference.
still pretty bad.
Big difference,
But
Dan.
the humor goes a long way to overlook some of the. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean,
A Serbian film was a knee slapper. How dare you?
I was gonna say
like it's easier to fucking make fun of the transgender
Careful.
woman getting her cock cut in half than to fucking start with the little one fucking shit. It's easier to laugh at one thing than the other. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I still though, like, there's no way I'm sitting down for like family movie night and watch Gutterballs with my mom.
Okay, but you have to also understand the shit I've seen with my mom. Like
That's awesome. I'm not saying
like
good thing,
when
but-
Human Centipede came out, she went and rented it at the fucking video store because she knew I liked horror, and
Yeah,
she was just like the people at the call center are talking about this. You want to watch it? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to fucking watch Human Centipede, Mom.
here's
And
your
then
juice box.
And then we watched the second one, and she was very, very upset.
She didn't
Two
try the
is-
third.
She watched third and like she was fine with 3 because of how ridiculous it
Damn,
was.
Cliff.
But 2, she was strongly offended about. Mainly because of the baby thing. I mean, let's be real. It's fucked up.
That was great. That was so good.
Two is
My
the
favorite.
only really good one, if we're being honest.
One's awesome. One's
I
awesome.
gotta agree. Like
But
as a
2
movie,
is the cream of the crop. No,
One-
no,
I like 3. I don't
like
give a
3.
fuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think 3 is just like it's one of those things where they're like, all right, gloves are off. Let's do as crazy as we can. We have a fucking warden eating clitorises in a goddamn out of a goddamn jar in this movie. Like
Broken clock's right twice a day for me.
It felt a little more like they were just trying too hard in the third one. 2 is legitimately a good movie. Lawrence Harvey's creepy as hell. The first one, I think, would hit a little bit better if you knew nothing going into it, which unfortunately
a lot of people don't, Dan. You fucking snob.
You had that small portion where it was like, once that was done, I just felt the rest of it's just a generic horror movie.
But you're a big fan of psychological horror and shit. Psychologically, you have to appreciate the fact that if you have some dude that killed himself in front of you, like on the front of you, and then somebody that died of an infection in the back, that existence is really fucking, like, really grim and fucked up. And like that's the way I always. Yeah. Oh, I am sorry, Cairo. I am going to eat the cuttlefish. I was literally having this conversation last night about this shit.
Swaggy G, what's up?
What up, Swaggy?
Am I lagging? Am I tripping?
Slightly.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For me.
Okay.
Yeah, not too bad. What up, Swaggy?
No, but Dan is.
That's all right, Cliff.
No. Back on track, Dan.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into
news we had.
Yeah. Well, we sidetracked into Human Centipede. My bad.
I'm trying to. Yes,
Understand.
I'm trying to get back on
But
track.
moving into the movies of the evening. Promotion real quick. Stay tuned for an ultra secret
This guy.
post show.
Now you oversell.
Yeah.
it.
Now you see. Oh, God damn it, Dan.
All right, motherfuckers, we're gonna do an exclusive review. You can see an exclusive review early on Patreon tonight during our post show.
Yes.
And then so you get our post show shenanigans and a show that we're gonna release separately. So
There you go.
but Dan made it sound like we're gonna have fucking.
We're gonna have
Toxic
Farouk
Avengers
Bulk on here,
right?
fucking
John
watching
Carpenter
live.
John Carpenter talking Human Centipede.
I want to live in a world where John Carpenter just fucking hates you, Dan. He just
You live here.
He is so mad
Why would he dislike
because you
me?
shit on him and his son's fucking scoring work together during the Halloween. Because you just automatically hate all the new Halloween movies, and he's like,
oh yeah, but that's not.
No, but
Carpenter.
he holds a grudge against you because this is like
That's
his bonding time with his son. He's gotten to finally fucking bring together the Halloween movies and his son into it and integrate them all together. And then here's this fucking piece of shit motherfucker with a goddamn hat online talking shit about these movies any chance he gets. I hope John hates you.
Those movies to John Carpenter are simple. It's money.
Who doesn't love money?
Or bonding experience with his son, which is why he's going to take it fucking personal.
It could be both.
It's probably. All right.
Any fucking leg. Yeah, there you go.
Cobweb from director Samuel Bowden, theatrical horror movie in theaters right now. This one follows horror strikes when an 8-year-old boy named Peter tries to investigate the mysterious knocking noises that are coming from inside the walls of his house and a dark secret that his sinister parents kept hidden from him. All right. So this was actually one that I think was shot back in 2020. It's been, sitting a little bit, which isn't always a good sign, but I should say that this is the feature film directorial debut of this director, but he did direct the short-lived French Netflix series Marianne.
Oh, shit. You know what? That makes a lot of fucking sense now.
Which wasn't renewed, unfortunately, but Netflix. So
Producers of Barbarian also.
Yeah.
And it.
Some familiar faces in here. I know the one guy is on
The Homelander, Anthony Starr.
Yeah.
Dude, do not undersell Anthony Starr.
Some
right
guy,
He's good.
Jesus, Dan.
I don't
This
fucking watch it.
That's
I
your
don't-
fucking fault.
Yeah, and that's your fucking problem because it's like literally
He's the
one of
Cobweb
best shows.
guy from now on.
You can
Cobweb
eat
guy.
shit. You're gonna have to fucking mute me, Todd.
I feel it.
You're gonna have to mute both of us. I'm
Anyway.
about to fucking unleash.
He
I
is
can't even say
very-
it.
And the tough chick from
Very
Mean
good.
Girls.
Yes, Lizzie Kaplan just coming off.
Tough
Fatal
girl from Mean
Attraction.
Girls. Asshole.
Or fucking
Watch Mean Girls either. What do I look
Or
like
young
Mean
Annie.
Girls?
No,
White's
you were
in
just
Castle
dismissive
Rock,
of Anthony Starr as the fucking guy.
I'm
Asshole.
sorry.
young Annie White's in Castle Rock, as well as the girl who explodes in Cloverfield.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
There you go.
Point
So
Cougar.
Cobweb. So I'm gonna have some complaints that are a little spoilery later. I love this movie. There are some logical issues, particularly, let's just say involving the threat. Would they really be trapped? I guess I'll say that much. There's some issues there, but if you can roll with it, I actually thought this was really
that was
entertaining.
your level of suspension of disbelief, Dan.
There's other things that I'll talk about later, but I really like this movie. You know what it reminded me of? Not necessarily in tone, but Gretel and Hansel. That's not a perfect movie, but I still liked it a lot. It had great mood. I thought the kid was really likable in this one. You know, you felt terrible for him. I believe, by the way, that the bully is a Busey. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's fucking funny.
So
Yeah, Luke Busey.
next generation of a-hole.
Yeah.
He plays it well. Because
Meatloaf is somewhere in his fucking grave screaming.
Ah.
I want to believe Meatloaf has a kid that's like going to school with him.
And he's just like or he's like halfway across the country, just training to beat his ass whenever they get together.
So I really enjoyed it. There's some very familiar horror films in terms of the storyline that if I mention pretty much gives it away. But I really dug the weirdo vibe. I wish this had come out during Halloween because it is set during Halloween, and I think it would have probably gotten more attention.
Well, when it counts
in
for
October,
when it hits digital is when it'll. They're
Sure,
obviously timing
sure.
it out.
I think that's a better
box
decision.
office though it might.
But
have
that was
done
never going to blow up the
something.
box office. I think you release this then or now. You're going to
Look
do a
what,
little bit.
I
look
get
what
it, but-
Smile did. Smile was a massive hit. And that wasn't a guaranteed hit.
But that had a Paramount promotional machine by it that like you couldn't escape that.
True.
This
it
one,
needs
Well,
that,
this
sure.
got dropped literally out of nowhere. I had heard absolutely nothing about this movie until about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was because it was playing. I can't remember what movie it was, but it was a trailer played. And when I went to my theater, they put out a poster. But like there was, I feel like almost no marketing behind this movie.
which is a shame because if people actually got to see it, I think they'd really like it. Dan compared it to Smile.
Yeah, no,
Another
and
one just got out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere, but a surprise hit.
Well, and I also agree with him when it comes to like this is the type of movie I want to watch during Halloween for sure.
Yes.
There's a lot of Halloween atmosphere in this motherfucker.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins all over the goddamn place, and it just that would have definitely put me in the Halloween spirit if I would have cracked myself to the theater, fucking, and saw this on the big screen for sure.
And I really think the kid sold it. You just felt terrible for this poor kid. You know, again, somewhat familiar story, but
Two big ones from
when
last
he
year.
fights, I was gonna say, unfortunately, when he fights back, the dinner table scene, I'll just say that, like I was like
Fucked up.
really, really cool. So it's a flawed film, yet I really, really like it. I really, really like this one a lot. I love the weirdo vibe with the parents too at the beginning. You're not quite sure what's going on.
Lizzie Kaplan's performance really I liked a lot because it was almost like this robotic version of what a mother should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I thought that was really cool. And then just seeing, like, dude, I can't fucking look at Anthony Starr or not see Homelander. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm just waiting for him to
Drink some
fucking-
milk.
yeah, or just laser his kid halfway across the room and shit.
Is he
But-
like the villain to John Cena in that? Is
That's
that
you mother-
Okay, I'm just gonna start muting everybody at this point.
I'm cool with that one. No.
Okay.
Yeah, see, and you muted him, and I was
They're better. I hit the wrong one. I
I
panic
thought
muted.
that was what it was. Isn't that
No,
the-
that's the
No!
that's
Mortal
the
Kombat.
Peacemaker stuff. This is the Amazon one. That's the whole full hard R superhero one.
Okay. I don't know what it is then, I guess. Sorry.
They wouldn't have got mad if you misspoke someone from Peacemaker as much.
just
Just let it
him-
go. Just
him mixing the
Dan.
two together
I
made me
know.
crazy.
In his defense, the Mortal Kombat thing probably confused him.
I don't know everything about the spider bat.
You know
I'm
for a
sorry.
fact he hasn't
Yeah.
fucking seen it.
I know
Did
he
you
hasn't.
say Spider-Man, you motherfucker?
no, he said Spider Bat. He was trying to be clever.
Mhm.
Spider.
Like-
So what did you think of
I
Cobweb?
hope a
Kruger?
spider crawls up your ass and lays it.
Spider
I-
ass. Spider.
I fucking love this movie. First off, familiar cast, Anthony Starr, but Lizzie Kaplan too. Like, I love season 2 of Castle Rock, like a lot more than most people do. I thought her playing Annie Wykes is just fucking amazing, and her portrayal to that character was great. And also, like, I've had a crush on this woman since Cloverfield, because like she was a big childhood crush for me in Cloverfield, and I had to watch her get exploded by kaiju parasites, which was really traumatic at a young age. But as far as this movie goes, the kid is great, the parents are great, and just unhinged, creepy. What's that movie with fucking Uncle Eddie? Parents? Is it called Parents?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
parents.
Randy Quaid. Yeah.
Reminded me a little bit of that. Reminded me a little bit of People Under the Stairs.
Yeah.
Also reminded me a little bit of Barbarian, where you think it's going one way and it just fucking takes you a whole nother direction. I really just enjoyed the fuck out of this movie. It's definitely a popcorn flick. I don't want to get that like misconstrued or anything. It does feel like a studio produced made horror film, but and here the thing that really gets me is it really doesn't even have any great kills in it either. But the atmosphere, the concept alone, and then the holy shit moment with that dinner scene, and then just like after the dinner scene's going on, I'm just thinking in this kid's head psychologically where the fuck this character would be at after all of that happening, and then what's happening now. And like, it's just perfect insanity. I also think it's a perfect Halloween watch. This is definitely a movie I will be rewatching once Halloween is, around the corner and we're in the season for it. And I'm gonna rewatch this movie a lot more than a ton of stuff that I've seen over the last couple of years. A big portion of that is because it is a Halloween themed or takes place on Halloween type movie, but it's also just because the concept alone, I think, is creepy. Like, you ever think back when you're a kid and you're just like, you wonder if you're ever really alone in your room, or, you hear these creaks and these cracks going on. And I just think that concept alone, especially to what it metamorphoses in to with that dinner scene, that's a really fucked up situation, in my opinion. And I love that, love the characters, love the actors, and just as a whole, really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's not gonna be my favorite thing I've seen all year, but at the same time, it's definitely real. Like, when I look at all the movies I've watched this year, it's definitely really high up there. And I would suggest going to see it in the theater, at least for me, if you can. I don't know if it's a limited release or how long it's going to be out there, but yeah, man, I just had a really good time with it, and I probably my biggest detractor is just I just want Homelander to go harder. But
Yeah. For me, I dug the atmosphere and the vibe. The Halloween, it felt like Halloween, which is nice. Not enough love has been given to the substitute teacher. I thought she did a fantastic job. Anthony Starr rules.
From Infinity Pool and Last Man on Earth, Cleopatra.
Yeah,
Poland,
she was good. But here's where I become the turn in the punch bowl. Because when I walked out of the theater, I liked it. The farther I've gone away from it and I think about it
a little. Yeah.
the less I liked it more. So I liked it at the moment. Right now, I honestly wish I would have waited to home. I don't think it needs to be seen in the theater. I could be on. I don't. I think I would have had a much more appreciation of it if I had just pressed play.
Would you, if it was released in Halloween, would you say it should be seen in the theater?
I feel like that would change your opinion.
I'm just curious.
No, I don't think it's worth the gas and effort to get there.
But you think that about most movies now too, so
That it factors in. It's a time we live in. Yes, but the further I've gotten away from it, the less I like it. And like
you're like, this fucking movie made me leave my goddamn house.
Yeah, and it wasn't my local one where I'm cool with going. I had to go a little further, so it bothered me. But yeah, the movie's okay. I would say definitely check it out. I don't think you need to see it in the theater though.
I hope on a whim it's for whatever reason gets re-released during Halloween. Because I would literally go watch.
Well, you might see a lot of that soon.
This is
you might see a lot of that soon.
Well,
who knows?
Off topic, they're on the verge of already delaying stuff. I know Warner's is eyeing stuff to delay. Could be Dune. I know that's one of the ones you're waiting for, Dan.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where that was at in terms of production. I thought that one was done.
No, it is, but
it doesn't matter. They need to space it out, so it's like they have new things to release.
So that's one of the ones. There's a couple other ones that are close to release too that they're talking about moving.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Also, The Kid. I know Dan didn't watch it because it was A24, even though it has Joaquin Phoenix. The Kid, Woody Norman, was also in the recent A24 film Come On, Come On, which is actually really good. Not horror, but worth checking out if you're a fan.
There you go. So we'll talk a little bit more about this one at the very end because I wish I could go higher, but there are a few things that kind of had me scratching my head that I can't go too high, but I'm 3.5 stars. I do recommend you go see it. Great atmosphere. I really had a good time. I just there's a few things here that are kind of clumsy in the writing department.
Wow. Oh, God.
I'm a 4. While I don't think you need to see this in the theater, I think you should to support stuff that's different and not just mainstream.
Fun fact, did you know Joe Lynch almost had this?
I did not.
Yeah, he posted his Letterboxd review of the movie, and he was talking about how, like, it's funny how you think that you're going to do a movie for a while and then somebody else ends up getting it and you wonder how their vision is. And he's like, fuck, their vision was like just as good as mine was. That doesn't happen very often when you're a director. So I thought it was cool that he was going to get this, but I'm also 4 stars out of 5. And I can see myself like literally religiously rewatching this every year during Halloween.
I'm definitely watching it this year. We'll see if it stands the test of time.
2.5 out of 5 for me.
All right.
Sorry.
That's all right.
No.
Dan, what do we
tear me apart, Lisa?
Up next, we have End Times. Give me a moment.
Was it because Homelander didn't just beat the fuck out of somebody, Pug?
No, it was just the further I've gotten. Walking out of the theater, I was like a 3.5. But the further I got, I was like, I've seen some of this shit done better. And more Homelander too. Yeah, you're right. Fuck it.
What if John Cena showed up and like hit an FU?
What if
John Cena has nothing to do with fucking Homelander?
He's trying to. Don't let him do
I know he is. He's going to give me a heart attack. And then guess what? When we have the Rest in Peace Michael Kruger fucking podcast, you're going to be the blame.
Damn.
He's full Colin Robinson tonight, Pugs.
Yeah. That's what we should be fucking talking about.
Well, but then we'll have some excuse why he can't watch it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what we did watch was End Times, a new asylum film, which is unusual, which I'll get to that, from writer-director Jim Towns. And in this one, in a post-apocalyptic wasteland where zombies roam, a grizzled mercenary and a young woman must fight their way to a safe haven before they become prey. So before we get into this one, it is very unusual because when I saw Asylum, I was expecting, kind of your typical modern asylum movie. Now we talked about that. Asylum goes back like 25 years now. The pre sort of mockbuster run, they did release stuff a little bit more like this, and in terms of little more practical in the effects, a little more R-rated. This really kind of felt like a throwback to that time. There's a few cool things about the cast. Jamie Bernadette plays Claire. She pops up in everything these days, and she's really, really good. She was also in I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu. Not a big fan of that one.
We get a reunion from it in this film too.
Yes, with Maria Olsen, and it's even eerily similar to some stuff that goes down in I Spit on Your Grave too. Weird coincidence, but
the other one had a better Todd scene. It's way too soft for me.
It's weird because this does not feel like anything that was made for Sci-Fi Channel. It's very a lot of practical effects in this, which kind of surprised me quite a bit. And Pugs, did you get the Batman connection?
No.
Apparently, they shot this near where the Batcave was, like in the old
66.
Yeah,
I can. Okay. Yeah.
Portion of it, anyways. Apparently,
That's
they shot
cool.
it there. This one kind of lucked out too, because apparently they also shot at this old sort of, I guess, like mock town that was used for police training. They turned down a lot of studios that wanted to film there over the years, but I guess it literally just sold, and they were able to cut a deal, I guess, with the contractors. So there's some fairly solid production values here. In terms of a story, it's nothing you haven't seen before in terms of a zombie, post-apocalyptic sort of scenario. But the two lead actors, Jamie Bernadette and Craig Stark, who's been in a bunch of Tarantino stuff in smaller roles, they have great chemistry, and I enjoyed them quite a bit in this.
Looks like Adam Cole.
Yeah, like an older Adam Cole. You're right. The one thing that I wish they didn't do was the opening flash forward scene. There is no reason for it. It's like, okay, I know where we're ending up.
Right.
Here, it was really, I wish they didn't have that goddamn scene in there. It did nothing. And that was like a big complaint to me. It kind of blunts a little bit of suspense, which is there. Overall, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. It is not at all what I was expecting from an asylum film. As far as the zombie stuff, all that's cool. Like I said, nothing you haven't seen, but I appreciated the practical gore. It's a little more focused on the human threat in this one. Almost felt like it could have been like a pilot for some new series potentially. I really enjoyed this. Jamie Bernadette's great, as she always is, always willing to do some difficult stuff in these movies. I thought the polyamorous hippie commune that they kind of stumbled into was also a little bit unique. I liked it, surprisingly enough. It was more than what I was expecting it to be. But hot tag to who wants to go next.
I can go. The commune is actually what interests me the most. Once that opening struggle snuggle scene went soft, I'm like, come on, guys. So it took a while for me to get back on board. But then Adam Cole saving the girl and fight, it ended up being a good time. So I did enjoy it. Zombies were cool, but yeah, I was more focused or more honed in on what are these weirdos doing? Let's spend more time with these people. So, yeah. That's
Yeah,
good.
I totally get that with them. That was their, I was very interested in their community. But you know, Dan already nailed it with our leads. Both great. I was really invested in the story. And Dan touched upon it not feeling like the typical asylum style. Pretty sure this was a pickup.
It must have been.
Yeah. I know it had an alternate title at one point too. But yeah, it's just one. It wasn't what I was expecting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like most asylum pictures. Like,
Yeah.
So, but this one being different and kind of feeling like some of the earlier output, I really did like, and it was a very solid flick.
Yeah. If you have zombie burnout, this may not be for you. But if you're still okay with some of the zombie tropes, you should check it out.
I have a little bit of the burnout, but it wasn't enough that I was still entertained the whole time. I mean, I'm not like over zombies like a lot of people, but I mean, I am a little bit more. Yeah, well, that was kind of, you know.
See, I was over them for a really long time, but now like I'm kind of okay because we haven't had like oversaturation with it like we had from 2008 to 2017, 18 maybe.
Yeah, but Walking
Oh,
Dead
before that, yeah.
There's still like
What
3
are we
Walking
on
Dead series.
They're up.
They
to, like,
look
5.
interesting.
Well, it's
no, 2 are ending. One's done, and then Fear's done.
World Beyond, yeah.
The Daryl
That's
Hannah.
not coming back. I thought.
See,
Sorry.
I had more zombie burnout after I watched something like World War Z. Like World War Z offended me hard.
I
don't remember how I felt. I think it was okay.
Yeah, I don't. But it's one of those I feel like looking back, I'm like that wasn't great.
It peaks early, like the scenes in Jerusalem, were just fucking awesome. Then it's like our finale is just in like a hospital with like not a handful, but like a dozen zombies.
But isn't that because they had to rework the whole ending? It wasn't supposed to be totally different, if I remember. It doesn't matter. We'll talk about World War.
I just think the Israeli portion was visually spectacular, and it was like, oh, okay. The ending, although it's supposed to be a part of a series that didn't happen, so yeah. But anyways, let's rate end times.
Todd, did you go?
I did.
Okay.
I am a 3.5. I liked it a lot.
Pugs?
2.5 out of 5.
I am a 3.5 also. I was border on 4, and it could get there on repeat viewings, but yeah, I definitely think it's worth checking out. You can rent it right now on Apple, Vudu. You purchase it right now. It's still priced for rental, but you can at least rent it and check it out.
There you go. There you go. All right, moving on to our next movie of the evening, which is The Flood, which is coming out from Saban. Is it Saban or Sabin?
Saban.
Saban. All right, we're both wrong. There you go.
And it's out from Saban, not coming out. It's out.
It's out. Sorry.
Yes.
It would be the 2 white people trying to.
Well, we
Power
both
Rangers,
know.
that's where
I
it
was
comes
going to
from.
say. I know he knows because of Power Rangers.
That shit is ingrained.
All right, so Saban Films presents The Flood from director Brandon Slagle. And in this one, a daring jailbreak during a dangerous Louisiana hurricane is interrupted by a horde of large, hungry alligators.
I can go quick and first on this.
Because I know you loved it, Kruger.
Absolutely. I thought it was fucking Academy Award-winning performances throughout the movie. The effects were fucking fantastic. And god damn, is this such a better movie than Crawl.
I hope you get from that.
Absolute fucking bullshit. All of the shit I just said.
It's because they have that.
The CGI in this movie was just obnoxiously awful, in my opinion. And maybe it's not so much just the CGI itself, but with the people interacting with the gators, fucking drove me insane. I didn't like any of the characters. I thought they all sucked. And like, I just kind of just wanted to see everybody get ripped apart by alligators the whole time. Not necessarily the worst thing to have happen, but when you are trying to follow a narrative of people that you can kind of want to be around for 90 minutes, wasn't the easiest thing to do. And I mean, the concept's just a straight up Crawl ripoff. Like, I really liked Crawl because of the concept alone. I thought it was just, interesting enough. I love animal attacks movies. I don't really gel well with the weird disaster movies, but mixing those two together created a perfect Alexander Aja fucking, ride. And this was just like, okay, well, we saw the Alexander Aja movie. Let's go make it on Sci-Fi. And like, that's what.
And some assault on Precinct 13.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I kind of wanted the whole police station setting to add to the story. Maybe.
Did you like the CGI jail shots?
No,
even that
no, I fucking hated them, Dan. You need to ask me, really. Come on now. But yeah, I just thought the whole thing was uninspired and just kind of boring. I hated the characters. The attacks themselves were really fucking lame, especially when the gators were gator rolling. Like, dude, if you're gonna have a gator roll on a motherfucker, I mean, I'm on Instagram enough to where I've seen at least 7 or 8 people just get their limbs ripped apart by fucking sticking their hand in the alligator's face. You need to give me a little bit more than just like this gator fucking, turning around with the person in their mouth and then not seeing their fucking limbs and their bones being split in half. So like, I really thought this movie could be okay if they would have added maybe a little bit gore. Even if it was CGI gore at this point, I thought, okay, that would be okay. Because like, maybe if I'm just watching this gator twist this person's leg over and over and over again until it turns into a fucking bowl of mashed potatoes, that could be cool looking. But all the alligator attacks were fucking lame. The whole movie just felt uninspired, and I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't expect to be a fan of it. I actually was debating about skipping this movie.
I'm actually shocked you watched it.
But I had some extra time today, so I was like, all right, The Flood and Swamp Woman, they'll get on my list today.
Which order did you watch them? Just out of curiosity.
I watched The Flood and then Swamp Woman.
Okay, no, just
and that's probably what.
Well,
had me
they
going
good you
off in
skipped
the
it. There,
chat.
now we're going in his order. We can get his whole blood pressure rising organically.
Yeah, Punisher Batman fans really concerned, as am I. You look less red right now, so that's good.
Yeah, no, just I'm a slight tint of pink right now. But when Dan fucking said John Cena after fucking mentioning Anthony Starr,
Triggered.
you can already see the pigments are getting
back.
But as a whole, like, I thought this movie's just shit. Like, it's shit. It's shit that would be put on Sci-Fi. But hey, you know what? If I had nothing to do all fucking goddamn day, I saw the trailer of this movie and I saw it was playing on Sci-Fi. I may smoke a blunt and watch it. That's the best thing I could say about it.
There's been
go.
worse reviews. Well,
at least
Pugs,
you ended with something nice.
since this was your pick.
Yeah, I was very excited to see this. I love Crawl, but also that movie does have Aja at the helm, so I knew that it wasn't going to be anywhere near this. I did have a really good stupid time with this, though. I enjoyed myself. I immersed myself in the world. Didn't pay attention to the shitty CGI. You can tell it's there, but I was more interested in the story they were trying to tell. I did like the shitty characters, all of them. The racist dude, the black dude who ended up being racist also. Like, that wasn't cool, bro.
The racist dude cracked me up because of like
Big Joe.
Well, first off, I know somebody in real life named Big Joe that is incredibly racist, and also at the same
Not
time,
big fucking Joe.
Yeah, we should say that.
no, not the wrestler, not the wrestler.
Not big
But I have a friend whose dad I call Big Joe, and he's just this racist ass Canadian dude.
I like him already. Canadian.
Yeah, he's just
You
like
think of racist Canadians. I mean, I know they exist, but
nah, he's
Oh,
one of
they
the
all hate the French. Well, the ones
And Pakistani people.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys I play video games with, so he lives like halfway across the country. But his dad is like one of the most racist human beings I've ever met in my life,
Tell him
and
so
his
what's up.
name is Big Joe. So it did crack me up when Big Joe was holding on, and then the black dude was just like, "Yo, fuck this crap."
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, that's not how you create unity, sir. But are the attacks ridiculous? Yeah. A big croc is gonna fucking just gator is gonna bite your hand off with that big old mouth. Okay, I'm gonna allow this. There was a few floating heads. I don't know, the Assault on Precinct 13 thing going on. I was in a good mood. It got me. Is it great? Absolutely fucking not. Did I have a good time? Absolutely. Is it dumb? You bet your ass. Do I regret it? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm with Pugs on this one. I you know me. I like dumb cheese, and this is just turn your brain off, watch some.
it plays it pretty serious, though, don't you think?
It
Adds
does.
to the humor.
There's a lot of humor, I think.
I don't think it's but they don't
It's a
play
little more
it for humor.
straightforward. Yeah.
It's there. It's just not like campy and like that. But I mean, the film still has that feel to it, but it's not like through the. Yeah, anytime they try, it always comes off weird.
It still feels like a sci-fi movie.
It does.
And that's what I like about it, because I'm with Todd. I love sci-fi. I am one of the Sharknado people. I am part of the fucking problem.
We got a
Sharknado
couple
2.
weeks for that 10th anniversary.
I'm so Todd, we should go together.
I think we should.
Okay. Well, yeah.
It's like 2 weeks.
It's too
before
bad
Dan
there
gets
isn't a
here.
show because like I said, I haven't seen any Sharknadoes. I've watched about 10 minutes of, I think, whatever the fuck the one was with Chris Jericho. I watched about 10
It was
minutes
2.
of that.
2 is the
Two?
best one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
watched
found the
about-
perfect tone. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched about 10 minutes of 2, but I haven't seen anything else. I wouldn't mind watching them. I mean, for fuck's sake, dude, I've watched Ape versus Mecha Ape at this point. Like, Sharknado's going to be like some cheesecake compared to a pile of fucking dog shit.
I think there's some cameos in there you'd pop, specifically one, and I believe it's part 4.
I was gonna say in number 2, I'm pretty sure that's gone now.
Yeah, I think we'll. Yeah.
Jared.
Oh, not on Blu-ray.
Not on Blu-ray.
Wait,
So-
is Jared from Subway?
He's on a subway eating a sandwich. See?
And I wanna say that broke. Not
Right after.
Yeah, Jared is in it. So the flood. We'll talk Sharknado, I'm sure, soon. But the flood.
Very soon.
All right, here's a quote for the box, Todd.
Okay, get it ready.
It's a crock of shit, Todd. It's a crock of
gator.
shit. It doesn't matter. I'm just
The
gonna
gator
call it a
shit?
crock. It's a crock of shit. There's
Yeah, but it's a
CGI.
fucking alligator.
I know. That's,
Wearing that hat, Dan, you should know the difference.
We can roll with it and just go crock of shit.
No,
See
my-
right there.
spin-
We can
my-
gator roll with
Killer-
it and make it a crock of shit. Right there.
Hold on. Killer Croc and Killer Alligator are 2 different genres, you son of a bitch.
Is that the Toby Hooper crocodile?
Eating alive?
Yeah, there's eaten alive too.
What don't you
There's
like
more
about
than
this?
one Killer Crocodile fucking
okay.
movie.
Kruger, breathe. Now I'm really concerned.
But anyways, the flood.
Got a stress ball?
So this one played it for me, anyways, just way too serious. I think they would have been a lot better off just going ridiculous with it. And I can overlook the shitty CGI. With this type of a movie, it's almost expected that they're not going to look like real alligators. That's fine. I can roll
interrupt
with
you real
that.
quick, Dan? I'm
yeah.
sorry, but this did give me an idea for Crawl 2. Instead of a sheriff station, an actual prison. A prison goes underwater, and let Aja do this. I think he'll knock it out of the park. Bigger cast, a lot more dead bodies, and a lot more eating people. I want that. Anyway,
There
go
you
ahead.
Be better than the flood for sure.
Um,
Even just the opening scene. The opening scene made me laugh a little bit when the Devaney Pinn's character, I think her name was Summer, is like held up in the thing, and then the gator comes in, and rather than trying to get away, her strategy is like, I'm just going to walk right up to it and hit it with this flimsy little stick. That made me laugh. That's about it. Like this movie, I didn't have high expectations, although Saban films usually tend to be slightly higher budgeted B movies. So like you said, this one just felt like a Sci-Fi Channel movie that took itself way too serious. I thought the finale was lame. I mean, we got a CG jail, CG explosions. I thought the video game style, like character bio things that were like popping up were also kind of dumb. I didn't connect with anyone.
Liar.
Casper Van Dien should have had a little bit more to do. This felt like Van Dien like was barely in this movie. It's more of a Nikki Whalen movie, and that's fine. She's good. Some of the actors are fine. It's not really on them. It's just this whole thing was kind of a slog. It just and it kind of goes out with a whimper. You're much better off just watching a really cheesy shark movie on the Sci-Fi Channel, Shark Gate or whatever. This, surprisingly, I did not like at all. I can't say a lot of good things about it at all. And I do like these types of movies.
I'm surprised it's on this one. I figured it'd be at least.
Yeah, I'm really surprised because I thought of all fucking things, Dan would have the most fun with it.
Nah, I mean, I like the idea of it, but there's so many similar movies. Louis Mandylor is good.
But you're so forgiving on so many other movies that just are exactly like this, in my opinion.
And you love Casper Van Dien.
Like what? I like Casper Van Dien. Casper Van Dien,
like fucking snow shit monster and fucking whatever the fuck shark.
Well why don't we rate it? And then we'll
right.
Come back to this topic.
All right, man.
You're welcome, Kruger.
I am a half star.
All right.
It's not quite a 0, but it's pretty bad.
1 star out of 5.
All right.
BRB.
All right.
I am a 3 out of 5.
I am a 3 out of 5. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I'm definitely watching this again. It's dumb.
There we go.
Pulling Kruger till he's back.
No
Put that on the fucking cover.
All right. I don't think we'll be getting a quote on the Flood Blu-ray, unfortunately. But
we're
all
stalling,
right.
Dan. If you did
our next film.
If we're stalling, Dan, if you did not read our private chat.
Oh, sorry.
That's all. Well, that's why we have a chat open.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I'm full screen. I don't see the chat.
That's all right. That's why I'm telling you. That's why I was stopping Dan before. All right. You guys want my rant?
Yes. Rant
Oh,
away.
yeah.
Dan was really excited for my Barbie rant.
I didn't even know that's what it was about. Okay.
Oh, yeah. My Barbie rant. So I go and see this fucking movie. And they're all about inclusion. And we're supposed to get this and that and everything. So I'm going, okay. So I get there. And I feel excluded. 100%. I don't know if I can ever watch a movie like this again. I was excluded. They did not feature the fucking Todd Gall in the goddamn movie. I am offended. They got fucking Alan in there. Where the fuck is Todd? Look at
probably in Barbie jail.
This is true. The pimpin' suits.
Todd could have popped up at the end and just turned that beach crimson red.
That's
the
that would be the
sequel
twist.
is not about Todd coming to
I was surprised, and I'm not going to shame anybody, but I saw a lot of dudes.
I like it
solo. Oh, you saw it solo too?
Because
I went with Edward Danzig.
Sure,
yeah,
we don't give a fuck what people think.
I was going with Edward Danzig, but he had to bail. I still went. I had a fucking blast.
That's your insecurity, Dan, not everyone else's.
Also, Dan, you would appreciate the opening scene. Like I was shocked at what they were doing. I'm like, oh wow, this is a deep cut. Well, kind of a deep cut for movie fans, and it's way more artsy than I thought it would be. And the ending, like it's true. And like it's a decent message. They fucking bash you over the head with it, but it's a I had a blast. Oppenheimer was better.
Yeah, I would have been cool to see the nuclear fallout though on Barbie.
It feels like a movie that should have came out 15 years ago, and that whole wave of that stuff. I mean, like pretty
Kinda
print,
like,
light colors. You know, you got
It just
separate
greenlit like a bunch of toys, right?
Well, they were all already in development. I thought.
Oh, okay.
I know they've been talking about the Barbie or the Mattel universe.
Because Polly Pocket's next. If that does well, I hope we get fucking Mighty Max. Give me fucking Mighty Max and creepy crawlers.
Do I sound okay, FYI?
Yeah,
You're good.
All right,
You're
you,
good.
you missed my rant.
I wanted to make sure I didn't sound like a chipmunk because I kicked my microphone before I had to.
Oh no, you're good.
So,
You missed
John
my Barbie
Cena
rant.
is in Barbie though, correct?
He is.
He
in
is.
Barbie. Yeah.
Okay.
I have heard.
But you know who's
I'm-
not in Barbie? The fucking God damn it, wrong button. The fucking Todd doll's not in Barbie. It's some fucking bullshit.
That's what you get, motherfucker, for doing all that shit to all the other Barbie dolls.
See?
Maybe that's the problem.
He's incarcerated.
Yeah.
Kruger,
Is
are
it-
you going out on date night to Barbie?
Let's go Barbie. Let's go party. Fucking Tuesday, dude.
It's good enough for
Tuesday.
Angel.
Yeah.
It's good enough for us. Next Wednesday, Barbie.
No, dude. So, like,
I'm in.
this week is the horror week. So, me and Amanda, we had to go see Cobweb and we have to go see Talk to Me. But then next week, we're going to see Barbie and then Oppenheimer with her fathers because he really wants to see that movie. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, you know what? Godzilla fucking prequel. Let's go.
Telling you, get your phone ready at the end of the credits.
I wish I would have been ready.
Dude, can you
There you
imagine
go.
if you saw Godzilla fucking just, you see his fin come up from the ground?
Fucking ran.
That's it. Christopher Nolan, you could have did the biggest troll on everybody.
Best crossover ever.
Best crossover ever would be if they cross Oppenheimer and Hell Comes to Frogtown.
I'm
You
in.
could- if you're
I'm
No,
fucking
Dan,
CG.
Oppenheimer and fucking Godzilla works.
I
way
still
better.
want fucking Frogtown.
You could have that too.
You see
All three?
You see Florence Pugh just fucking with her titties out, trying to stop Godzilla from killing the
I'll
city.
see Ed banging the frogman at the same time. No CGI dresses needed.
Look,
here.
dude, you're a
Florence
Godzilla
Pugh's a
85
goddess.
fan. We have ticks to do that.
That's true.
Godzilla's just cleaning house and he just like stops and just sees like Florence Pugh hopping up and down on a frog.
Yeah, with her boobs, and then he's just like,
We've never seen Godzilla nut in a movie, as far as I'm
I
aware.
hope we never do, Dan. I have
Thank
to
you to
hear
our
a
new
n-
listeners who've tuned in very specifically for reviews.
Yeah, I have to hear enough of this shit.
I'm sure it won't matter to our next reviewer, but our next
Next
movie
review.
we're reviewing, the director of that. I don't think we'll care if we're talking about that. Maybe I don't know.
What if we're talking about Godzilla and nothing?
I think nut talk is okay when it comes to Gator Blade films.
I think yes, we're
I
very
think-
okay.
I
All
think
right,
it's
fair enough.
topical. So, on that note, our next film from writer-director Sean Donohue. Swamp Woman is the story of Dr. Angela Honeydew, who possesses a scientific breakthrough serum that allows animals to genetically combine with their surroundings, whether they are living or inanimate. All right. So,
Tag me in because I'll be fast and quick.
Okay.
go
Did
for
not
it.
care for this fucking movie at all. I appreciate the concept, appreciate what you guys did. This was not my cup of tea. So you guys can go ahead and fare
You
off.
still-
It has
you-
more titties than Barbie, and
I
I don't
could
need to
get-
see Barbie.
Dan, don't get me fucking started.
He's bowing out first for his blood pressure. Please. All right. I
Respect
was
the
going to
man's
say, you still got to watch Death Court
Yes.
Service.
That needs
I'd
to be
see
like a bit now. Is just fucking like my blood pressure and like how red my face gets.
That bit's gonna turn real. So no.
Hey fucker, I have lost 135 pounds. You leave me alone.
I'm not concerned about your weight, sir. I'm concerned about your fucking blood pressure. You can have a fucking aneurysm.
Well, if I gotta be fucking wheeled around, motherfucker, guess who's doing it? One of you two motherfuckers that live next to me.
I got you.
I'm gonna fly out and do it. Oh God, can you imagine? It'd be like misery for you, Kruger. But
wait, what?
He just volunteered Dan to hobble you.
Yeah, absolutely not. We are not having him.
Just let me die.
all right, so back to the movie.
Yes,
So I
hot
go?
tag. Go for it.
I'll go for it. I'm a fucking gigantic Swamp Thing fan, and I'm a gigantic tit fan. And so this is kind of really fucking cool for me. Yeah, it's. I'm also a gigantic fan of Death Escort Service. I love that. Those three of them, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I have the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Good series. Yeah, this does the job. I mean, does it look a little low budget? Yeah, but did I have a fucking blast? Yes. They took all the tropes and all the characters and they made it their own from the source material, which there's no denying where this shit came from. So yeah, bravo to this. I had a fucking great time watching this movie.
Yeah, count me in that. I mean, this is one I was looking forward to. We were hot off the heels of Satan Lives that came out not too long ago.
Yeah.
You
can see our review of that one.
So yeah, but this was a good time. I mean, you
And it's in and out. Fucking
yeah.
hour.
And you got like all the staples you want to see from a Sean Donohue film, Gator Blade. Yeah, hour, perfect runtime, tits galore, blood. Well, tits galore, and you got your monsters. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
There you go. So I love Swamp Thing. I love titties. I love this movie. Swamp Woman is a ton of fun. This is obviously on the lighter end of some of his work in terms of I love American Holocaust and some of that stuff. But, that was him, right? That wasn't John Donohue. Sorry, my bad.
You just want to say Holocaust. That's cool.
But it's the Gator Blade. Yeah,
Gator Blade.
I think Gator Blade, or was that?
I probably
Florida film scene. Those guys
I watched that doc. Now it's like it all kind of.
I get it. Well, no, because he directed the last Death Escort, the third one, Taste Me. Not Sean. Okay.
Well, Death Escort Service. I have an autographed poster back there on the wall. That's how much I love Death Escort Service.
Fantastic.
And yeah, this one is just fun. I like the homage they did with Luna Thist, who plays her character named Tura Satana, which is awesome. I got to meet Tura Satana in Toronto actually for Fan Expo. She was awesome.
Dan, I know you love that bar scene, especially that one line where she's like, "Oh, get fucked." That's what I'm trying to do. That's gold.
I think his first pickup line was, "I'm a cunning cunnilinguist." Was his pickup line. It did feel very Florida. Like I feel like that somebody
in all the best ways.
In all the best ways. Love Florida. This is just a good time. You got Joel D. Wincoop, who really gets to. He's doing lines from Batman '89, so I'm sure that popped you.
Yeah, that also helped a lot.
He's always fun. I mean, that guy's a low budget legend at this point. You get a little bit of gore at the end. This is definitely a TNA titty flick that delivers the laughs. It delivers, two very awesome shower scenes, which is what you're in for on these movies. I think Luna Thist and Susie Yvette, I can never say her name right, but I'm a fan of her. But Sushi, I'm going to take a stab at it. Susie Yvette Holder. Hopefully I said your name right, but I am a fan of your work. I think she and Luna Thist have great chemistry together. It's just a fun B movie in the tradition of Fred Olen Ray, Jim Wynorski. I really, really enjoyed it a lot. And to quote Joel D. Wincoop, "Can we please call it a tallywhacker?" There you go. I'll just end with that. But yeah. And then there's a sequel tease, so we might get Swamp Woman 2, possibly.
Swamp Woman returns. Come on.
And Pugs, are you aware?
Swamp scored service. Just do it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Please.
Swamp beaver. That's what we need. Swamp beavers. That's like the new threat for
That's the
swamp women
improvement,
to
Dan?
fight. Yeah, swamp beavers. Fighting like swamp beavers in the
I
bayou.
got what you're saying, but
So I know Todd is aware of this, but Pugs, I didn't know you were a Swamp Thing fan. Are you aware that the new 4K is going to have the uncut version with
He
Adrian
doesn't care about
Barbeau's
that.
titties?
That's the part he's like, I don't care.
no, that's awesome. I did not know that.
There you go.
But you know,
That's the biggest news of the year. That's nothing bigger is happening.
Even though I have it on like 2 Blu-rays. Yeah, it's not.
Still. So
It's at 4K, so that's the biggest thing.
I'm actually a Return of the Swamp Thing guy
too.
over the Swamp Thing, but I'll watch both anytime.
I like both, but Return is definitely, and costume definitive. That's the look in the second
You
one.
know,
is
that's the one I
perfect.
haven't seen, right?
really.
That is a little tongue in
Ooh.
cheek. You might not.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I
go
may-
into it
but-
like
hold
Big Trouble
on.
in Little China.
But I may like it because of the villain who shows up later on in the Swamp series
Okay.
or Swamp Thing series.
Oh, well, if you've seen that, you might like it then.
Yeah, I think I'll like it because this. Well, we're talking was there another
The
Swamp Thing
Doctor?
series? I'm
Yeah.
unaware of.
Oh,
one in the
yeah, yeah.
90s.
Oh, yeah, they've been.
Oh, yeah. That's totally different.
No, I get that, but just the fact that villain shows up in there, it'll make me happy enough. I think.
Alright.
I don't know. I haven't watched Swamp Thing honestly since I was a little kid, because right around the time I became a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm like maybe like 8 or 9 years old at this point. I watched Last House on the Left, fucking Swamp Thing, and I feel there's another one in there. I can't
Like,
remember.
why isn't Krug doing anything to Adrian Barbeau? I'm confused, right?
Well, no, I didn't
Bag
watch.
over his face.
I didn't watch Last House on the Left until I was probably around 12. But there's another Wes Craven movie in there that I had watched like right after I watched Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time.
Hills Have Eyes.
You know what? It was that, but there's something else in there.
Deadly
that's a
Blessing.
little-
The one with
What's that one
Spider-
about?
Hills have eyes too, I hope.
I've grown on that one. It's horribly bad, but entertainingly bad.
I feel like there's another Wes movie. Didn't he make a shitty vampire movie?
Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy.
With Eddie? Yeah,
There-
that's the one.
You
That's the one.
you liked it?
No, well, as a little kid, I liked it because it was just like, oh, this director's awesome. Let me
Dan's
fucking
gonna
see-
shame you as a child for liking it next.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I was
Just
probably
that.
8. I was probably 8 years old when I had seen it. But like later on, like I saw Nightmare on Elm Street when I was like, I think 6. And then I watched New Nightmare, and then I watched like some of his other shit. And I feel like Vampire in Brooklyn, Swamp Thing, and what was the other one I said? I know I said it.
Last House.
Last House.
Yes.
Well, no, Last House wasn't until later. There was a third one. I can't fucking remember what the hell it was.
Let's go with Hills Have Eyes.
We'll come back to it. You'll remember right when we're done.
Yeah. The CTE is kicking in.
Speaking of Swamp Thing, another thing that was unavailable for a very long time that I got in today on 4K, Needful Things, which has the TV cut.
Only on the Blu-ray.
Only on the but still the only time that's been available, so I let that go.
No, I totally get it. I'm still,
Yeah.
But that's one thing that's a
191
bummer.
minute cut. Yeah.
Is that the first time you've seen that cut?
No, but it's the first time in many years that I've seen
I
it.
remember watching it on TBS way back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we get too far, we still have to rate.
I was just gonna, I was trying to get back into control where we're supposed to be, but Dan sidetracked me again.
Yes.
So,
Go for it.
Dan, what are you thinking on this one?
All right. So obviously, this is a titty flick. It's not for everybody, but as a fun B movie titty flick, I give it 4 stars. I loved it.
Pugs?
I'm a 4 stars as well.
4 across the board.
There you
I'm
go.
a 4 also. Yeah, this was fun. I love this one, but no, yeah, Kruger. I said across the board. My bad. I forgot.
Yeah, I figure you were just trying to skip me.
I was trying to help your heart.
I mean,
it's about to shame you.
Yeah, dude. I'm not even on steroids, and this shit's just fucking beaten. See, like, I watched Flood right before this, and like, if I didn't watch Flood right before this, I probably could have gave it like a 1, like I did with Flood.
Wow.
But I'm a half star. I appreciate everybody that fucking worked on it, though. Like, you guys went and made your movie, so I give you guys props for that. But it's just not my cup of tea. Obviously, these guys' cup of tea, but not me.
We'll get you. I'm telling you, Death Squad Service. If there's one you're gonna like, that's gonna be the one.
You had me watch Cannibal Claus, and like I kind of liked it.
On the right path.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, but
maybe one day we'll re-review the Death Squad Service.
Well, I know we can do an After Dark franchise show on the trilogy.
There we go.
There you go. We can definitely do that. All right. So
we got one left.
Hopefully we'll end strong for Kruger with this one. Possibly.
I'm just my gut saying yes.
From director Guy, which we'll get into that. He's actually a British director, even though this is a Japanese film. And in this film, in the relentless heat of the grueling summer, temperatures soar to blistering levels as cicadas emerge to sing their ear-shattering song. Months of continued exposure is enough to make anyone start to feel a little off. Anyone, that is, except for that oddity the locals call the Cicada Man. Who is that strange man, and why is he always walking around with boxes full of live cicadas? More important, what does he do with them? As the heat starts to get to our heroine and her sanity depletes, real life and delusion begin to mix. Her darkest nightmares seep into our world, and she fears the Cicada Man has planted his swarm of insects inside her. All right, Kruger, what did you think of Sound of Summer, which I should say is from Unearthed Films on Blu-ray now?
One thing I will say about this movie, excuse me, just in general, it is very low budget. So you need to know that going in. I kind of already did, just knowing little backstories I did about the film. But, man, I got to tell you, this was a really nice little piece of horror that was wrapped up within 80 minutes, maybe a little bit less. Maybe it was like 75. I can't remember. But I really liked the whole atmosphere of just a Japanese setting, you know, looking at the day-to-day life of a Japanese girl, just trying to, you know, make her money, do what she wants to do in her life. And just the culture aspect alone really pulled me in. But then Mr. Cicada Man comes in there with his fucking cicadas, playing with them in this coffee shop, and just that whole character really intrigued the fuck out of me. And then we get this little backstory where it may or may not have been one of these other characters that didn't remember him when he was a little kid. And they just, at least that's what I got out of it, was that like these characters that came across this person, they had bullied him when he was a child, and that he kind of has come back into their lives years later on, and maybe seeking his revenge, who knows. But I really liked just this whole story, especially when it came to, because it has a lot to say, in my opinion, than most movies do. This movie has a lot to say about how when you go to a doctor, they're just so easy to prescribe you some fucking medication to fix your problems. And then you come back a couple weeks later, and this doctor's just like, oh yeah, doesn't look wrong that you're fucking covered in open sores all throughout your fucking body. Let me just prescribe you an antipsychotic. And I really like the way that plays out into the story, because it kind of gives you a aspect of it where you're like, is she really seeing is this stuff really happening, or is this poor woman just going fucking insane? And I thought that was a really cool take on it. And with that narrative going on, they didn't skim on like this insane final act where this, I mean, anybody that has seen the cover art will know, like, there's a cicada man that becomes like almost like a Fly-esque villain in the story, which was really cool because The Fly is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. And I really loved everything about this film. I thought the acting was really well done, and it is a very slow moving thing, but it builds very much this crazy final act. And while it's all low budget and stuff, I do really appreciate the monster effects in it. I mean, at times it almost feels like an old school monster movie in certain aspects of it as well, which was really cool to me. And just as a whole, I loved it. I thought the final act was really compelling and just really fucked up and just weird. It's one of those movies where you watch the end and then you the credits hit and you're just like, the fuck did I just watch type of thing, which was really cool. And I love movies like that. And it's totally understandable why Unearthed decided to put out this director's first film with this director's first feature-length film, I believe, with this. I'm very much looking forward to what Guy has in our future in horror as well, because I just, as a whole, this whole story and everything is very intricate. Regardless of it being low budget or not, I feel like it's very well written. And I enjoyed the fuck out of it. It's not going to be like something that's going to maybe make my top 10 at the end of the year, but I'm glad I really got. I've been very excited about this movie since I heard about it, and it didn't disappoint me in any aspect. Granted, if you are an Unearthed fan, I think this is a little bit more tame than a lot of stuff that they do put out. But if you, as far as like on screen graphically, but if you are, paying attention to the story and just realizing why this woman may or may not have been losing her mind because of the cicadas, it's good stuff. And out of everything I've seen over probably the last 3-4 years, I would love to see this movie get remade with a strong budget behind it, because I think there's something there. If only you could have like effects that look flawless on screen and everything. Yeah, I mean, you may have a masterpiece on your hands. And I really enjoyed the hell out of it. And I'm a big fan of just Japanese horror in general. But this is definitely the best Japanese horror film I've seen come out of Japan or that culture in a very, very long time. So it gets my stamp of approval, and I couldn't be happier by the time I got to that final act, and we just get that. There's this final shot of the cicada man and the girl, and it's just like, wow, what the fuck did I just see? And I love movies that can do that to me, and I love this movie, and I'm glad Unearthed hooked us up with the screener to review it, and I will definitely be picking it up on Blu-ray whenever I can.
Sweet. Pugs, what did you think?
It's a strong film. It tackles bullying, mental health, misdiagnosis, and then we get this really weird creature thing. So yeah, this is a good mixture of all the shit we like. So and it's also respectful of my time, which I appreciate. So
Very-
Yeah.
Hour 15.
yeah, yeah, I dig it. I like it a lot.
Nice, nice. Yeah, this one's kind of like a young Cronenberg was commissioned to make a guinea pig movie, is how I would
Yeah.
kind of
There you
describe
go.
it. It is-
That's a good fucking description right there.
Yeah, it is very low budget, but it's all practical effects, which is always nice to see. I can forgive a lot. I thought, yeah, there's some very creative body horror and creature effects towards the end. You could argue, even at an hour and 15, that this movie really could have been a short. I mean, it could have been
For sure.
a segment in an anthology and told the full complete story. But I really liked the whole idea of just this character thinking, bugs are inside her, which is kind of a theme with people that lose their minds. It's always like a bug thing.
Bug.
Remember Bug, dude?
Bug is a great William Friedkin movie. Nobody talks about it, but I love that movie.
Me too.
It kind of, I think people wasn't advertised well. People didn't know what they were getting into, but Bug is fantastic. And yeah, this was actually inspired. The director, who again is from England, and he moved to Japan and got heat stroke because he wasn't used to the summers there, and that kind of partially inspired this film. And I don't know what the currency conversion would be, but it's like, I think it's like a 4,000 or 5,000 yen. So this is a very, very low budget movie, but I'm glad Unearthed picked it up. Like I said, I do kind of feel like you could have told this story in like 30 minutes. There's not a lot of characters, but it was never boring to me. Again, a young Cronenberg, still honing his skills if he was commissioned to do a guinea pig movie, is kind of how this felt. And yeah, I will definitely check out Guy's other films. I know there's a short, I believe, on the Blu-ray, and I think he's very talented. I know somebody involved in the special effects worked on Ryohei Kitamura's Versus as well, which I'm sure was probably a favor for somebody.
Didn't he work on Final Wars as well?
Ryohei directed Final Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Final
So he
Wars.
did the effects on this film? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, I think maybe Punisher or Barney in the chat earlier. There's Ryohei's got a new American movie out from earlier this year called The Price We Pay. It's with Emil Hirsch and Steven Dorff. Looks generic. Yeah, it looks
Good
generic.
cast.
Yeah, it's sad though because it looks generic as fuck. So, like, I think even we kind of overlooked it. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, but apparently, Ryohei, it's apparently pretty gory, if nothing else. So, kind of curious to check that out.
I'd write that down.
Price we pay. So yeah, no. Sound of Summer. I really enjoyed it. I think it's well worth your time. And yeah, probably works better as a short, but I still dug it.
The one thing I will say when I was watching this movie, though, like, if this had a little bit of a budget behind it, I could have totally seen this as like a Cabinets of Curiosity on Netflix type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
With it.
Yeah.
Todd?
You guys already covered everything on this. Yeah, count me in as I enjoyed it too. I don't think it's going to be for everyone, but I did enjoy it. Everyone here, it's obviously for. But
Yeah.
what would you rate it, Kruger? You want to go first?
I'm tossed up between a 3.5 out of 5 and a 4. I'm gonna go with my 3.5 for now, but after watching it the first time, I already want to watch it again. So that rating may be raised up with future viewings, but for now, 3.5 out of 5. I think that's a strong rating for the movie.
Pugs?
Okay. I am also a 3.5 out of 5.
Dan?
I am a 3 out of 5.
I am also a 3 out of 5. So, all right.
There we go. All right, so guys, we are going to be live shortly on Patreon with our, I guess we could say, review / discussion, and you won't want to miss that. We do want to thank our new patron, DJ Case something.
Dan, that's not the name. I can't.
I don't know the name. I'm sorry.
That's like not even close.
He said it once right before, and then I was trying to remember it. But thank you to all of our
D Hayes. Thank you.
D Hayes. Okay, D Hayes. Thank you very much for becoming a patron. D
Muchos
Hayes.
gracias.
And yeah, all starts at just
Thank you,
$1.
even though Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Deej.
I'm going to get to know you on there as you get to know us on
That's threatening.
Patreon. So, yes, all starts at just $1. Patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. And yeah, that's where you get the hard stuff.
Yeah.
If you can believe it, we get worse.
Shenanigans time. All right. Well,
Yes.
on that note, let's get out of here.
Good night.
Good evening.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
All lives matter. I'll see you in Disneyland.